When I say the words new beginnings, how many of you associate that with the start of a new year? With the new year, many of us feel the need to set new goals and resolutions in order to feel better about ourselves. The new year inspires us to start new beginnings and make changes in our life. I'm not saying we don't set goals throughout the year, but I want to emphasize that this year in particular has been difficult for all of us to embrace a fresh start. We began this year in a flood of negativity because of COVID-19. We were robbed of a positive new beginning. Good afternoon, Mr. Kidd, Mrs. Bett, staff, fellow classmates, my mom and dad, and my GE's Crocs. Today, I will be speaking about the importance of finding the good in these unprecedented times. I think I can speak for many Ridleyans when I say that we are afraid of the unknown and what the rest of this year holds for us. As there are only 3 months left of high school, I myself get nervous thinking about where I'm going to go to school next year, where I'll be living, and even who my new friends will be. What most of us forget is that nobody ever truly knows what life is going to look like from one day to the next. Rather than being afraid of this, it's important to throw yourself into the unknown, leaving no regrets. Being able to do this means that you can fully surrender to all expectations you've ever had for yourself, allowing you to have that fresh start. I would like you to understand that when times get hard, you haven't lost control over your life, because you never actually had control to begin with. You can only control yourself and your actions in the moment, not the state of the world, but how you respond to it. This statement holds utter limitation, and the only thing that will decide which way it lands in your life is how you choose to view those words. There's no doubt that this year has been difficult for everyone. With social isolation, an increased reality of virtual learning, and everlasting influence of technology, we are living in a time of challenge, but equally an opportunity to move forward. Don't allow the challenges of life break you. Don't let these tough experiences derail you from pursuing your dreams. Instead, keep fighting the hardships by taking one tiny step after another. Life can hit you as hard as it will, but if you always get back up and continue to achieve your goals, it cannot stop you. We all know that life after the COVID outbreak will never be the same. However, I believe that humanity will find the strength to recover. Resilience is a character trait that means the human capacity to not only bounce back, but to overcome and even be strengthened by phases of adversity. Resilience depends predominantly on our ability to reach out to others and benefit from what they offer us. A subject that I've always been interested in is positive psychology. Positive psychology is not about denying difficult emotions, but rather opening up to what is happening here and now and savoring the good in your life. Positive thinking techniques will help you to develop resilience to handle these times more easily. Instead of calling this year the new normal, I prefer to think of it as a new beginning. Beginning still suggests that changes are needed, but we can begin to look for how we can move forward. Holding on to the past with one hand and holding on to the future with another leaves us nothing to grasp the opportunity that today brings. When I think of this past year, of course, the first few things that come to my head are negative. But after doing a lot of reflecting, I was able to come up with 4 good things that COVID has taught me, and I would like to share these with you now. The first thing I learned is that being with others is a key part of happiness. Happiness is contagious. If a friend or family member is happy, you're more likely to be happy as well. Being with others helps you to celebrate the good times as well as provide support for each other during the bad ones. Reducing stress is good for everybody. While everyone experiences temporary physical stressors throughout their life, emotional stressors can linger and lead to damaging feelings of despair if there is no resolution. Both forms of stress can have a significant impact on physical and mental health, reducing the body's resiliency and arresting the healing process. Life is full of opportunities, but the human body is limited in its capacity. Learning to focus on a few important commitments while simultaneously forgoing less important ones will help prevent stress associated with overcommitment. Showing gratitude matters. Cultivating thankfulness isn't homework, and it doesn't require much time or energy. You can start small, by taking a few moments to notice things that are going well in your life and making this a regular habit. During the pandemic, I also realized that we all need less stuff than we think we do. Exploring your desires shows that you do have a limit. Once you realize this, you can start focusing on enjoying what you already have instead of blindly chasing more. I encourage every one of you to set your own goals for the rest of this year. I want you to write these down as it solidifies your commitment to them. Remember, a goal can be anything. Just make sure it's meaningful to you. A quote by Muhammad Ali that really resonates with me is, "Even the greatest was once a beginner, so don't be afraid to take that first step." I really like this quote because it talks about the most common thing us humans do when we start something new. It is an amazing thing to control our dreams, so that it can act as a constant source of motivation for us. However, there is always a devil's advocate within us who keeps questioning our abilities and telling us that our goals are too far to reach. It is the same critic within us who says that what we are doing is not sufficient and introduces the doubt that we can't achieve them. This is where the positive thinking comes into play. Looking at the circumstances through a better lens does not only affect your feelings about it, but it will affect the outcome. The first thing that you can do that will help you see the positive is to make peace with the unknown. Make peace with the fact that you do not know what your future is going to look like. Harness the strength from your past experiences and live wholly in the present. Obstacles we've overcome in our past don't make us weaker. They make us fighters. Next, make a conscious effort to rebuild. You've all been given the gift to rebuild, and in doing so, you can decide what is a must in your life and what you need to let go of. Write down your vision of the new you. Think, how would the best version of you take on the next 3 months? What will your days look like? Who will you spend time with? Now, don't second guess yourself or try to talk yourself out of the ideas that come to you. Write down anything that pops into your head. Something truly powerful happens when we begin to articulate our daydreams. It makes them crystallize in our minds and gives us something purposeful to move in the direction of. Lastly, choose one thing that you will stop doing. Perhaps you never speak up for yourself and decide that today you will stop staying silent. To summarize, the most effective way to get through these times and to improve the quality of your life is through positive thinking. I know today's information may have been a lot for some of you to digest, and that's okay. Take that small step to mark the start of your journey. You are the author of your own life. What narrative will you tell? You have 301 days left in this year. Make them meaningful. Thank you.